Again, on the main page, I would also like you to recognize that there's a link to the Center for Career Development. This is a university office here at UIS, and it's important enough that I put it on our webpage because I think everyone should be taking advantage of this. You don't pay a lot of fees as online students, but you do pay a fee to the Career Development Center, so please take advantage of their services. They really want to work with you. So I promise you that if you contact them and you tell them you're an online student, they'll do whatever they can to help you. I like to say that I don't recommend offices at UIS because I have to. I recommend them because I want to. So I actually have a lot of faith in their ability to help you. One thing that they taught me as an employee that I never knew as a student, I made this mistake as a student. I always viewed this office as the place you go when you're ready to graduate. So I'm going to graduate in a couple weeks. Please help me figure out how to do my resume and find me a job. They've convinced me that that's exactly the wrong approach to face as a student. They want to work with you during your first semester so that as you progress through your degree at UIS, they're giving you advisement on how to look for the best options as far as classes, how to see that those classes give you actual work skills as well as academic skills, and to give you career counseling so that you can try to identify those potential career outlets as you move forward. And of course, when the time does come to look for work, they can help you with networking and such. So please take advantage of their services because you're paying for them one way or the other. You've all been to the UIS website by this point, but there are some links here that are worth noting. If you haven't noticed that there's a link to webmail here at the top, you should start checking your email immediately. From this point forward, I'm going to start, well, I should say I don't know when you're watching this. Generally speaking, I work with students who are applying through the email address that they wish. But once their first semester starts, I start communicating with them through their UIS email account, primarily because that's how your instructors are going to contact you as well. So it's good to just get everything in one place. So if you're about to start your first semester, you should be checking your UIS email account. If you don't know what it is, it's whatever your net ID is at uis.edu. And let me close this out. Right next to this, you're going to see a link to My UIS. And this is a fairly new website here at UIS, at least as I speak. And I can't say that I'm an expert at using this. I'm going to log in just to, hopefully I'm typing that correctly. Good, I did. This is the portal at UIS. So this is a place where you can log into one place and have access to your email account, to your student services where you might see your bill or see your schedule or your financial aid award letter. You can look at your classes here. As you look at mine, you will see something slightly different. Since I'm not a student, I don't see all of the things you see and you don't see all the things I see. But this is basically, and it's an opportunity for you to log in one place and access all of the things that you might normally log into. Now, these do time out after a while. So if you're working on something, let's say you're working on an extended post within Blackboard to do your class, I would encourage you not to sit here and endlessly type a long post here. You might write it in a Word document, for example, and then copy and paste it in. So be aware that this does time out. One thing I would encourage you to do, you can add information to your My UIS account. So I'm on a page here. I'm going to click Edit. And when you get to Edit, you can add stuff. And you can see that there's pages of what we call portlets, things that we've put together to help you. You might browse through this and see if there's something of interest to you. At one point, let's see, I used to be on page 8. Maybe I'm on page 9 now. Yes, I'm on page 9. I try to do a blog every week. I try to do 2 posts every week. So if you wanted to add my blog, you would just hit Add Now. I'm going to click Done. I've already got my blog here, but you can see, you can either go to my blog if you're interested, or you can just add it to your My UIS, and every time I write a blog post, you'll see it pop up here. Back on the UIS webpage, you will see a link to Blackboard right here. So Blackboard is where you're going to do your courses. If you click here, it will take you to the login page. Another thing that you might look at, if you've been out of online courses for a while, or in particular, if you're new to online courses, you're going to see some resources to help you learn how to use Blackboard. So these would be very good opportunities to learn some things that you might not already know. Also on the main page, there is a link to Brookins Library. Brookins is the library here on our campus. We have a very good online library. We have a very good library in general, but they're very good at online resources as well. And again, this is where some of the fees that you're paying go to, so please take advantage of the library. Much more than the Center for Career Development, you're going to take advantage of the library. It's just a reality of going to school, so this is how you'll do your research. If you click here, I don't want to be the expert here. I'd rather you work with the librarians. You'll see that there is an About Us here, and there's contact information. Librarians are the type of people who like students to contact them, so there's no shyness when it comes to contacting librarians. They want to talk to you. But what you might do right now is look for the link that says tutorial, and you'll see a variety of tutorials. You might want to look at them, but in particular, look at this one that says accessing online library resources off campus. This is how you'll interact. And they've actually done a very nice video presentation here.
Hello. This tutorial will explain how
I'm not going to let that completely run, but you get the idea. You can go back here and you can watch that tutorial in your leisure. One other link on the main UIS webpage, one that I personally use on a daily basis, so I think it's very important, is this link that says A to Z index. When I'm looking for information at UIS, I always look here. It's just the quickest way to go. I'd like to show you a couple links from the A to Z index. The first is under the letter C, and it is the Center for Teaching and Learning. This is the place at UIS that you would go if you needed tutoring or if you needed assistance with writing or you wanted someone, if you had a paper written and you wanted someone to give you feedback on your paper before you turned it in, this is where you would go. Clearly, if you're going to get feedback on your writing, you need to get your paper done early enough that that can happen. So realize you can't just go in at the last minute and hope for that to happen. But if you do think that writing is something you want to focus on, or something that maybe you need to be sensitive to, something that's not natural to you and you're still developing those skills, do think to get your written assignments done, your papers particularly, done in advance, and do work with the Center for Teaching and Learning so that you can strengthen those skills. But even if you feel like your writing skills are good, there are some resources here for you. So I would encourage you to click under Writing and click under Handouts. You're going to find a lot of handouts here that are just useful how-tos, reminders of how to do things. But in particular, I want to point out documentation style guides. As liberal studies students, you're in an interesting situation. If you were a literature major, you would write all your papers using MLA style. If you were in the social sciences like psychology, you would always use APA. And I believe history majors here at UAS use Turabian. But you're going to be out there taking classes in all of these areas, and you need to use the citation style of the discipline. So if you're in a history class, they may say you must use Turabian, or if you're in a literature course, you must use MLA. So you have to know a little bit about all of them. These style guides are excellent, my opinion. Let's see. I'm on my Mac instead of my PC today, so it came over here. Let's see if I can get this open in a fairly quick process. You can see that they're going to give you a fairly simple, straightforward rundown of the style, how to do things. But what I really like about these guides is that they all end with, at the very end of them, a sample reference page. So you can actually look at how they've cited materials and learn from how they've done it. So if you have any questions on how to cite, this is a great place to go.